Coach, mission accomplished?
Yeah, I didn't expect us to necessarily win this game. So our mission wasn't really to win it; it was just to play with a bit of pride and compete. And because we chose a very much there were 24 guys training in Cape Town yesterday, so for us to get a win here, I would have probably exceeded my expectations. So very much so.
John, would you say the continuity you get and the momentum your teams, either Stormers or Western Province, succeeded in building, is that a confidence thing, or does the confidence come from drilling the skills, or how do you
Look, I think.
Just as a tip for Jay White, maybe.
I think we've got a certain amount of momentum at the moment, but we won the URC last year, and we worried a bit if it was a once-off for that. So we've worked. I actually think we're having a better season this season because of the reasons you probably suggest. We've got more depth. There were 24 guys training in Cape Town yesterday. Didn't come to Pretoria, so that makes me very happy. So I think there's a little degree of sports has got, as I think it's been pointed out, Jake pointed out before. Momentum, and he's dead right. But I think we've got a clear game model, and we've worked so hard on our depth. We're probably in quite a good space for the changes.
John, congratulations on a victory there in the Highveld again. Whether it's the Stormers or your selection for Province, it seems to be going well for you guys up there. Is there a secret? This one looked like it got away from you in the second half, ill discipline, and then suddenly came back and got control. What do you think was the key there in the second half to win this thing and take it to the finish?
Yeah, Chris, your question is very perspicacious. Spot on. I thought that at one stage we could have gone. At one stage the Bulls could have got away from us. I think there were 8 points clear and a lot of pressure. But I mean, I can't really give you an answer other than just good old-fashioned fights. These guys play for each other. We were very much a second. I said the 24 guys training in Cape Town yesterday that we didn't bring up here, and just asked these guys to do something special and keep fighting. And the discipline was a problem because we gave them far too many entries in the second half, which is our plan against the Bulls, is not to give away those penalties in the middle of the field so they get the entries. And we didn't get that right. So I actually can't give you an answer. We just fought. But you're spot on in the analysis, Chris. They could have gone away from us. Our discipline was poor in the second half, but we showed some fight. I thought we closed it out very, very well for a young team. We closed it out very well at the end.
Well, very quickly, thank you for that answer. A lot of analysts are talking about this was a young junior team, but there was some experience on that team, and it shows that, in your club, Province and Stormers, you seem to have a lot of depth, which is carrying you these days.
Okay, Chris, so our big thing after last season was, we won the URC, we were thin player-wise, and the whole thing was building depth and creating more opportunities. So at one stage, we'd used the most players in the URC, which was our goal. And I say there are 24 guys training in Cape Town yesterday, getting ready for the trip to Leinster. So that was absolutely, it's the best thing about us. I think this season is, we might win nothing this season. But in terms of creating the depth and the sustainability of this team, I think it's a better achievement than last year. You're right, we've got 2 Springboks out there, and Scarrows and one test, and Juan, but some really good, exciting youngsters. I mean, Cade Voliter, Bruce Sherwood, I think, who came on at centre. He's the youngest guy ever to play for Western Province. And the young props. So, look, we didn't scrum well either. I think if we'd been parity in the scrums, we would have been a bit more comfortable there.
Hi, John. Firstly, congrats. I think you touched on it briefly, the fight in your team. But there's something, and it's that I know no team ever goes onto the field to lose. I mean, both teams try to win. But the difference seems to be that when you guys get under pressure, they start playing. You look at John de Jong's chase back to grab the ball when it looked like they were going to score. And then you look at the Bulls, they seem to almost creep into their shells. I don't know, it's not becoming conservative, but they seem to become scared almost to play when they go into the lead. Would you say that's the difference between the two teams?
I think the way we fought and fight, as I said to Chris, I think it was really poor. We gave them so many entries in the second half. But you're right, we just switched it on when our backs are against the wall. Probably maybe I didn't get the same. I said maybe you're right. I didn't get the same sense about the Bulls. But they had enough. They had a few chances in that second half to take the game away from us. And I thought at one stage, as I said in the last thing, I thought when they're 8 points up and on the attack, it could have got they could have got messy. But it's just amazing the way our group stayed in the fight. And as I said, the 24 guys in Cape Town getting ready for Leinster. So to come up here and do that against the URC, I'm so very, very proud of them. And I asked them one thing. I said, listen, I didn't expect us to win this game. I just asked them to fight, just to really play for each other, fight, defend. And I think we got that right. I think we gave far too many of the penalties away, but we certainly fought.
That attitude that you're talking about, that was so evident, that's something that goes through the whole system.
Yes.
It's like a new attitude in the Western Cape.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we're working very, very hard on. That, and I think you know plenty about rugby, that there's probably a similar look to this Currie Cup team over the last 2 weeks in the Stormers in terms of the DNA, how we fight, how we chase kicks, all that, how we strike. That's the stuff that I want in both teams. So we're working very hard across the union to have that same DNA and this fighting spirit. And I think our defence, I know we conceded 4 tries, is exceptional, and it's a cornerstone of how we literally was from, you said Afrikaans, from Mekaar Dijk. It's something we're proud of it out of the union, And we got some pride back in the jersey. We had some horrible lean years. It might happen again, but there's some pride back in the jerseys, no question.
How's it, Dobbo? Questions about Blommetjies, another player, finding life in Cape Town, When you lost Warwick, not many people thought, if we're honest, that Blommetjies was the real answer to a player of Warwick's caliber, Springbok, obviously, but he seems to have really, really shown his hand with you guys. What have you done to him?
Yeah, it's a good question, Spoo, because we've prided ourselves. Started off almost by accident. This thing of turning guys. Or we had the conversations whether it's Marnie Libok or Achiever or Evan Roos. And we actually started to pride ourselves on that now. And Blommer, I was worried about when he first came down. I thought he didn't quite get our defence system. I wasn't sure. Our back three run massive distances in backfield cover, and he was running it probably about 30 or 40% less than them. And we've just invested so much in sort of trying to coach him, and he's just responded so well. It's another, I think, at this stage, heading towards another success story. I thought he was exceptional tonight. And so it's taken a bit of work, but we said to him, we got Sasha's out. So Sasha was out, Tristan Lates was out. There was somebody else out who could play 15. And I said to Blommer last week, would you mind coming to Ellis Park? And he said, I'd absolutely love to. I'd love to play for Western Province. So I just think it's been a bit of work, I think, from both of our sides, and he had to learn a new system. But now, I thought he was absolutely brilliant tonight. To my mind, our man of the match.
Can you tell me about the kid who came on, the youngest, to appear for Western Province?
Yeah, Bruce Sherwood. He matriculated end of last year. We are thin at the backs, at the moment, the outside backs. People say, why do you play Ruan now on the wing? But the reality is that a lot of guys are out. We just don't have anything. Centre, we don't have much depth. So we pulled Bruce up for the under-20s, and I thought, he's physically a big boy. Schoolboy's a star. So we think he's going to be a future. We're really backing him as a future Stormer star in the centre. That physique, that's soft skills. 18 years old, he didn't back off for anything tonight. So he's a guy we're really, really excited about.
Last one for me. Jake didn't take too kindly to the Stormers being branded the best team in the country. After winning at Loftus now with Western Province, having won here with the Stormers as well, do you put to bed that argument at least for this season?
The truth is, I think we've won the Shield. We beat all the South African teams home and away, and we I don't know how many points clear we are. So I think there's a reasonable. I don't want to sound arrogant, but there's a reasonable argument to say we're the best South African team at the moment. And I must say, today was one of our greatest achievements. To come here, as I said, the 24 guys training in Cape Town, to come and beat a really strong Bulls, strong Bulls team was an exceptional performance. So I'd say there's a case for us being at the top table at the moment.
Dobbo, do you not just take this match 23 straight to Dublin for next week?
No, we've already chosen the Dublin group, but some of those guys certainly won't embarrass themselves up there. We've really chosen the Dublin group. There are 2 guys I think who played tonight. BJ, I'm going to get one wrong with, I think, the top of my head. BJ, I think just BJ and Blommer. BJ and Blommer coming to Dublin, the rest aren't. So, but I mean, they won't embarrass us up there.
I just wanted to say, I mean, the depth that you now get out of a result and performance like this must really stand in good stead going forward, because there's obviously Harlequins also coming soon, and you will be able to mix and match if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, I think one of the most important things for us this season after last year's success was to create depth, and I think we've really done a reasonably good job of that. As I said, Ashok, we could get knocked out of Harlequins, we might win nothing this year, but I just got a good feeling that we've done the... If you'd said us after last season, what's the key thing for the Stormers is to prove that we can win again consistently and build depth, that we can sustain this. And I think we've almost done it. As I say, we might win, probably won't win anything this season. You know, the Leinster are looming large in every competition. The Harlequins are a really good team. But I think we're ticking off the major goal, which was to make sure that we're a sustainable and successful team.
Hi, Dobbo. Dobbo, you mentioned that the two guys joining. Is Ruan staying behind?
Yeah, his wife's having a baby, so we gave him off this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then just in terms of the coach staying behind, will that be Rito with the Currie Cup team? Or who have you nominated to?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is Labib will stay with the Currie Cup for the start of next week, and then we'll get to the game because we play Friday night and the game is on Sunday. But Labib will run the program with Shimmy and Gareth Wright, and then you know we've done a lot of the prep work already, and then it's not fair for us to fly in on the day of the game and take over from Labib, so he'll run it next week. But we'll all be at the game in Durban.
Okay. And then just not a Currie Cup question, but just having your Springboks back for that trip to Leinster. Just what do you want out of it?
You know, I think, you know, we could think romantically that we can go and try and beat Leinster. But the truth is those guys haven't played for 2 months. So it's more a game of us getting ready for Harlequins, which is a great occasion. You know, whether we get any further in Europe, I don't know. But hopefully have 50,000 people at DHL Stadium for our first home. You know, we've got a home European knockout. That'll be very special for us. And I think that's why we offered the Springboks, which I think is credit to them. We said to them, look, we can take you to Durban for a Currie Cup game to get ready, you know. And they said, no, they want to get really integrated. They want to come to Leinster, which is great. But I do suspect that we're going to be a bit ring rusty in that team. You know, we've prepared hard this week and they've worked hard, but they haven't, you know, Kitsy and them haven't played since, the middle of January. So we have to be realistic. We're probably going to play a bit of rent this week and then hopefully be in good shape to play Harlequins and then Munster. Yeah, we haven't got the home semi-final yet. We're probably going to have to win 2 of our last 3 games. But if we can pick up a point or 2 in Leinster, it'll certainly help us.
Hi, Dobbo. Congrats on the win.
Hi, Dylan.
Leeton's question just reminded me of something. Just how much did having the Springboks back in training this week, training alongside these Western Province lads, help them prepare for this game?
Yeah, I think again it's another good question this evening. It was significant, Dylan, because suddenly, yeah, we sort of went. I'm trying to think where the venue was on. It was a short week on Tuesday. Gosh, I can't remember where we were training, but the 2 teams went at each other. You know, they're not contact, so shoulder check stuff, and then the level was so good. It was so high that that looked at one stage. It looked like the Currie Cup team could challenge the URC team. You know, it was really a high level training. I think it had a massive impact because suddenly the Springboks were engaging. They were great opposition. They ran what we thought was Bulls plays. It was a very powerful experience. You know, and as I say, when they went head to head for that back end of Tuesday's session, it was really good. So the Springboks helped. They challenged them and rose the level significantly. You know, so that was a big factor. Thanks very much.